Day, what is this, March, isn't it? March 28th. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We had a pretty good weekend, a little cooler weather, but it's supposed to warm up a little this week. But we're also going to have some rain coming in the area, so be aware of that. This is Monroe Monday. Of course, we do events and other things right here on this show each Monday. And with us this morning, we have a couple of representatives from the Monroe County Women's Republican League.
Correct.
And we have Vicki Bryant and Denise McMillan. And we're going to talk about an event that they have coming up and then just generally talk about the Republican League and what they do for Monroe County and so forth and so on.
Okay.
So who wants to start first?
Well, I'll go ahead and start, and I do want to talk about, first of all, the importance of voting.
Amen.
Yes, that's right. It's the way that our voices are heard, and because we are a women's league and I am a woman, we didn't always have the right to vote. So I feel like, it's our responsibility to go out there and vote, and not only vote, but be familiar with who you're voting for. So that is one of the reasons that we put on an event like this. And speaking of voting, I want to encourage people, if you have not registered to vote, that you have until April the 18th to register to vote.
That's right, and you can register online or you can register in the county clerk's office. If you're not quite 18, but you're going to be 18 by the November election, which is November 8th, 2022, you can go ahead and register now and vote in this May election.
Okay, what about people that are, if they lived in another county or whatever, if they lived in Kentucky, I guess they're registered. Let's say my daughter, she was in Richmond, so when she registered, registered at Richmond. So all she would have to do was maybe go online and just change her address for Monroe County.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. It's real easy online. Yeah, absolutely. Especially the young ones her age, they'll be able to do that really easy. Yeah. But anybody can also always call the clerk's office, and they can give you all the information you need. You can go up there, and they can help you fill out a card or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but I got some other questions. I'm thinking.
That's okay.
Absentees. Do you have a date on that yet? Do you know when absentees might?
No, I don't. That's a little more technical than what.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all
It's a good question.
kind of kept up with that too, because we have a lot of people that can't physically get out and come to the polls. And you can do an absentee, and I think you can do that maybe online or call.
Yeah, I was going to say, for anybody who has access to a computer, of course you can always go to the library and use the computer if you don't have access to a computer or a smartphone. But you can go online and find out the date on, when's the last day to do an absentee vote and all that.
And you can always call the clerk's office, and they can give you directions on how to do that. And things may, laws change, and so I know I think a parent could apply or could ask for an application for a child, and a child could parent. But now that may have changed because so many things have. So I would just call the clerk's office to get verification on how that would work.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Vicki. What you was talking
Well, I was just going to talk about what Denise said, that voting is such a privilege, and we just cannot take that for granted. And especially in the year when we are electing all of our local county representatives and office holders, it's really, really important, because that just affects us every day. And so we really, really need to reinforce that people need to get out and go vote.
What do you hear from a lot of people why they don't vote?
I think a lot of people think that their vote doesn't matter, but it is so important. And we have heard of elections that were decided by just a very small number of votes, and once the election is over, it's too late. You know, you might think, oh, I wish I had just went and voted, and
What-
that might have changed that. But
Speaking of that, didn't we have a mayor's election that was by one vote at one time?
it was very
was
close. I
in
had
narrow,
forgotten that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was.
very
I mean, it
close.
was. Yeah, I mean, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They had to do some recounting, retabulation, and everything to
That
make sure that was
happens, yeah,
correct.
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's your voice. You win some and you lose some, but there's so many places in the world that people aren't allowed to have a voice. So I may not get what I want, but I'm allowed to say what I want. I'm allowed to pick a person that I think is going to represent me. And many people in the world don't have that ability. So yeah, your candidate may not win, but my voice was out there. And what do they say? If you don't vote, you can't complain
That's
about.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can't
Right.
complain about.
That's right. But
what's happening.
This has been. We've had people who fought wars to give us this right to vote,
Exactly.
and so we need to take responsibility for that and do that.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a simple process. I mean,
Right.
Nobody's gonna antagonize you or be over your
No.
shoulder or anything. It's all private, you know. When you
Right.
go into the polling area, I mean, unless you need help or something, you know. But I mean, it's a lot easier than it used to be. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, I know it's a lot of times it's on still on a piece of paper. I was gonna say it's on a computer, but it's on a piece of paper. You know, you just mark in the
Right.
circle in whoever you want and run it through the scanning machine, you know, and it
Yeah.
adds it up. You know?
It's very simple, and it really doesn't take all that long to do.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you get there early or late or whatever, but I mean, most time, you know, I'm in and out of a polling place where I go 10 minutes tops.
Absolutely.
10
In
minutes
Monroe
tops.
County, you're not going to wait in line, you know, for hours. Some places do, but again, that's still a privilege that you can, and you don't have guards with guns and, you know, standing there at the polling places. So it's
Well, of course, then also, you know, it just changed a few weeks ago. You know, we only had 3 polling places,
Right.
which that was going to be an issue, I think, for a lot of
Mhm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm glad that they went back to the 12 because Monroe County is a, you know, pretty broad area, and I really felt like that people were going to stay at home.
Mhm.
They were not going to
Mhm.
vote because they didn't want to drive so far,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
especially with gas prices now,
Right. right.
and just, you know, your older people, they just don't travel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as an example, if they're in Fountain Run, they don't want to drive all the way to Gamale or all the way to Tompkinsville. You know, so I mean, with the 12 voting places, you know, you're still within your designated area. So, you know,
Right.
I think more people will come out and vote now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
But,
I was glad to
I
see
mean, I
them
know
do
that the Kentucky Board of Elections recommended to cut back on polling places, and you know, and so as a clerk, that's what she did, you know, and
Right.
to abide by what they said, you know. I mean, she probably didn't have to, but they recommended it, so you try to do that, and that's what she did. So then, you know, I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
Well, and the people spoke, right? And so
Exactly.
you let your
I think-
voice heard.
I think
and
a lot of voices
things,
went to Frankfurt
right?
and said, "Hey,
but that's what we can do, and that's what voting allows us to do. You know, to say what we want and to say what's not working and what is working.
So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Monroe Monday, and we'll talk about the event coming up, and then we'll talk more about the Women's Republican Party. And welcome back to Monroe Monday. We have with us Denise McMillan and Vicki Bryant, and we're going to talk about the event that the Monroe County Women's Republican League is having here. What is it? A few weeks now.
April 16th. Mm-hmm.
Just about
Yeah,
basically 2 weeks away, isn't it?
Right.
It's here, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're having what we call the Lincoln Day Dinner, and it is the reason we called it the Lincoln Day Dinner is because of Abraham Lincoln, who was our 16th president and helped form the Republican Party. So we have we have tickets that we are selling currently, and our deadline to buy the tickets are
Got it right here. Let me put my glasses on.
April the 8th, I think it is.
Yeah. To buy tickets by April the 8th, you can get them at the Monroe County Judge Executive's office. You can get them from Sharon Profit, Haley Dunn at Farm Bureau, or Helena Pitcock. That's where you can purchase those tickets.
But what we're going to have that evening, it's going to begin at 4 o'clock. We're going to begin with a meet and greet. We have invited all of the Republican candidates to come to this. Then at 5 we will have a meal, and it's going to be a delicious meal. You're going to get a lot for your $15 ticket. That's going to be brisket. Chicken.
Denise's chicken.
I know.
You know, we always like to think about what we're going to have to eat.
Oh, I'm
But,
sorry.
it's gonna be-
a choice of brisket and chicken. It's going to be put on by Hog Wild.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like a buffet type, but I mean, they'll probably serve it to you.
We are going to, yes, it will be served. Yes, it will be served to you. Yeah.
And this will be at the extension office?
At the extension office. Then after our meal, we are going to have Congressman James Comer, who we're really proud to of and glad to have him to come to our event. He's going to be addressing the crowd, and after that, then we are going to give each Republican candidate an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about themselves. So it's going to be a great evening for the candidates to be able to express what they have to offer and let us get to know them, and for them to get to know us, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, will they have a time limit?
Yeah, we're looking at 2 or 3 minutes, not very long, because you'll have that opportunity to mingle and meet everybody before and during the meal and everything. And so we know people are don't want to sit around for hours and hours, although everybody has something valuable to say. But just a 2 to 3 minute elevator speech about what you want the voters to know. Yeah. Good
And-
question.
Are y'all sending out invitations to each one of them, or is it just an open?
Well, it's open, but we have sent out invitations to the candidates
Yes.
specifically, yes. But it's open to anybody, yeah.
And then we are also going to be having an auction that night, and that's always fun. We'll have some really unique items there. We'll have some patriotic items. We'll have a lot of probably baked goods. And with the next day being Easter, you can come to that and buy a cake and serve it for your Easter dinner.
There you go. Good idea, Vicki.
Y'all have
Good idea.
somebody set up for your auction then that's going to do it for you?
I think, is Eddie going to do that?
I'm not sure. We're actually still planning some
We
things.
are. We're
so
still planning.
I don't want to
Yeah.
commit anybody on radio, to do that. But
We'll
yes,
let Sharon
we're hoping.
take care of that.
There you
right?
go,
will.
Sharon.
A little
Yeah.
inside.
Yes.
Inside
We
job.
do have a few connections.
I'm sure we can come up with somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I also want to add here that, if you have anything that you would like to donate, this is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. We offer scholarships. The Women's Republican League offers scholarships to young Republican ladies, girls in the Young Republican Club from the high school. So we've been able to do that every year. Last year, I think we gave 2 scholarships, right? But this is our biggest fundraiser, and really because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to do a whole lot of big crowd
Fundraising,
things.
yeah.
Yes, so we're very excited about this event coming up.
Is Abraham Lincoln going to be there?
His likeness will be there somewhere. No,
The reason I
we've
said
not
that-
paid a person. That would be a great idea, though.
Yeah,
How about you, Randy?
Yes,
No,
yes.
yeah.
We'll get
Well,
you
I mean, they have those Chautauqua people
Yeah.
that you could get somebody to come in and
That's a-
represent you.
Yes.
That's a neat idea.
I mean, that would be really
Yes.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
like we
it's a
said,
good
we're
idea.
still in the planning.
We are still
So,
planning.
I don't
Who
think
knows?
anybody this
Who
quick or
knows?
not, but maybe next year, do something like
I
that.
thought John Osgothorpe, he would be a great
Oh,
Abraham Lincoln.
He would
I said
be
it
great.
on radio. It's official.
A call out there, John. A call out. 'Cause he's
There
probably
you go.
listening right
He
now.
might be.
There was actually, he was at one of the elementary schools last week. Abraham Lincoln was. Well, I'm not sure who it was, but that might be somebody to contact.
Oh, yeah. Maybe call the school and see who it was or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
All right, let's talk about the Women's League a little bit. When it was started, what goes on, how many members you have. Just throw out all the information you
In
have.
general.
I think that it was first organized maybe in the mid 1980s, mid to later 1980s, and started out with just maybe 10 or 12 ladies, and their purpose for organizing was to support the Republican Party and the Republican candidates in our county and statewide Republican candidates. And since that time, it has grown to, we've had as many as, 40 members?
We have, and we just recently finished our renewal date, so I don't have the final numbers on there, but we're looking around 30, I think, 25, 30, something like that.
But you can still join.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We're still taking members and would love to have anyone who has an interest in that.
Yeah, anytime we would love to have
Yeah.
members, just contact one of us.
We meet on the first Monday night of each month at 6 o'clock. And
And the upstairs, we always, right now, if things change, we do send out emails, but right now we are meeting in the upstairs courtroom, the old courthouse. So that will be, so even if you just are interested in or curious about us, you can come on in, and we'd love to have you, as a guest, if you're thinking about joining.
Can men come too?
Well, men have been there, but they're not.
They're just sitting on the
That's
side.
right. They're just
I don't know,
support.
you may be able to be an associate member.
There
or
you
something.
go. We're not changing the name though to Men and Women's Republican Group.
Understand. So what kind of, do you have dues for?
We do have $25 dues, and when you become a member of the Monroe County Republican Leagues, you are automatically a member of the state Republican
Kentucky.
Federation and also the national one.
Okay.
So those dues include that as well. So it's exciting. Yeah.
You're El Presidente, is that right?
I am president. Yes, I've been president for 2 years now. I've only been a member of the group for about 3 or 4 years, and so I'm new to the group. But the reason that I joined is I wanted to be more active in the community, and because I am a Republican and I believe in the values of the Republican Party. I wanted to represent that, and I wanted to represent that out in the community, and that's what these ladies do, and they've been, just a great group of ladies to work with. We, in addition to the scholarship program, we were able to put on a Veterans Day program this year that I think was hugely successful, or not this year, but last year. And so I expect, that, we'll be making that an annual event in some form. So it's just really good to be in the community and do good things for the community.
Denise has made us a great president. She's really been a big value to our organizations, and we're so glad to have her.
Well, thank you.
Now, I know you'll have local meetings, so then do you have state and federal meetings that you can go to?
You can, yeah, absolutely. I have not been able to be to one of those yet. We have a member, Helena Pitcock. She goes to a lot of the state and national meetings. She was actually the state president of the Kentucky Federation of Republican Women.
Not really. Couple years ago, maybe.
Years ago,
Yeah.
yes. So she's very active in the Republican Party and in this group, and we're proud to have her with us too.
Yeah, she's a former president of our league, and Cecilia Stevens
Yes,
was president
before me.
immediately
Yes.
before Denise, and we just had some good leadership.
All right, let's take another quick break, and then we'll be right back to wrap up about the event coming up on April 16th. Right?
April 16th.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Monroe Monday, March 28th. Talking to the Vicki Bright and Denise McMillan about the upcoming Lincoln Day dinner, I guess you'd call it. April 16th. Be at the Extension office,
Yes.
and starts at 6 o'clock. Right?
No.
We're
begins-
going to start at 4.
Beginning
4.
at 4 with a meet and greet of all the candidates and just all the people who want to come in at 4 o'clock. We hope that everybody will be there at 4 o'clock. And so we're beginning with a meet and greet. We will have our meal at 5.
Okay.
And a very delicious meal. We don't.
I still didn't get pulled up. But I know it's brisket and chicken and a lot
That's
of
the
good
main
sides.
course.
That's the main course. And we will have a dessert as well, too.
Yeah.
Not sure what that dessert's going to be, but we will have
Yeah,
dessert.
because
as well.
we are still making plans. Then our Congressman James Comer will be speaking to us, and after that, we will be letting all the Republican candidates introduce themselves and give a little short elevator speech, as Denise described it earlier.
Yeah, like you said, 2 or 3 minutes
Right,
or something like that.
right.
So all the candidates, be writing your 2 or 3 minutes.
Listen, I
speech.
think Sharon Prophet is going to have a bell. So they will.
A big bell.
A big bell. So you will be cut off, yes. Like at the Oscars, you will be cut off. Yeah. Sorry.
And then also our auction will be
Yes.
that night. And I know we're having live auction. We have in silent as well.
Let's see what the flyers
Yeah.
Let's see what the flowers is.
I think we were going to do both.
Well, we're going to have for
But
sure have
lots
an
of
auction.
goodies,
Lots
yes.
of interesting things to bid on, and the money will go to a very good cause for scholarships for some of our senior girls this year.
$15 a person.
$15
Correct.
for an adult, $7 for a child. We will have a child's menu. And you
What's
have
considered a child?
10 and under. Was it 10? Sorry. Does it say on there?
It does not say on
I
there.
believe it was 10
Yeah.
and under. It's on the radio now.
To be
It has
determined.
be.
To
Yeah,
be
that's
determined,
true. We're
yeah.
still in planning, we say.
Yeah, that's age-wise,
Yeah.
not mental-wise, So.
Exactly. Exactly. You have until April the 8th to purchase tickets at that price. You can buy tickets at the door. I think they will be just a little bit more. And again, I'm going to say I can't remember exactly how much more, but just a little bit more if you buy them at the door. You can get them from the Mitchell Page's office. His telephone number is 270-487-5505. You can also get them from Haley Dunn at Farm Bureau. You can get them from Helena Pitcock, and you can get them from Sharon Prophet at Prophet's Real Estate.
Alrighty. And then, so it starts at 4 o'clock at the
Correct.
extension office.
4
Correct.
o'clock.
And then the
yes.
meals at 5?
Yes,
What
the
you
meals
said?
at 5.
Yes.
Mhm.
Then we just go from there. Then no specific times for anything else.
Right. So we're probably guessing the speaking will begin
At
maybe,
6.
somewhere around there.
6.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone come out and do advance tickets or get it at the door. And that's April the 16th. And what day is that on?
That's on a
On a
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there
Yeah.
should be no reason for
The Saturday before Easter. So come out and get your cakes and cupcakes and stuff
Or
like
ham.
that.
I'm sure there'll be a ham
Yeah.
that will be
cook ham for
Exactly.
Easter.
There you
Right,
go.
right. So, and we'll just have a good time.
Mhm.
It'll be a good evening, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. And Monroe County is largely registered Republican. We have from my statistics that I've looked at recently, a little over 7,000 people are registered Republican in Monroe County, and a little over 1,000 are registered Democrat. And we'll sell tickets to Democrats or independents or anyone who would like to
Absolutely.
come. Yeah, you can still buy a ticket and
Yes.
come and
So we
And
have
be with us.
8,000 registered Monroe County so far.
yeah.
And we have
Probably a few more than that because there are a few independent and other parties as well. So
Well, we basically got about 2,000 people that's not registered in, right? There are probably 10 or 12,000 in Monroe
yeah.
County total.
yeah, so go out and get
Yes,
registered.
Of course, you can't
Register to
count.
vote.
I mean, that's kids too, so
Right.
we
Yeah.
got to count. So.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's important to register to vote and get out there and vote. Come
And
out
go
and hear
vote.
the,
Go
come out
vote.
and
do
hear the
that online
candidates.
or
In the county clerk's
in
office.
the county clerk's office.
Mhm. And I'm sure they can give you all the details as far as absentee ballots and all that sort of thing. They can give you precise information about how you need to go about doing that.
All right, ladies, we appreciate y'all coming in today. And like I said, go to the Lincoln Day
Dinner?
dinner. Yes. Abe Lincoln won't be there, or he may be there.
Well, you just never know.
To be determined.
Depending on how busy he is, you know.
Right, exactly.
Of course, Monroe County has some Abraham Lincoln ties.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some little controversy there. Some people say that he was born here, and some people say he was born in Illinois. But I think I've heard of some documentation that maybe he was born here.
I have heard that. I have heard that also.
You know, of course, he did have. We do know that he does have or did have family that lived here. So,
Right.
So there's some Monroe County history with
Across
Abraham
here.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
That would be
absolutely.
something good to. That would probably make a good Monroe Monday program sometime.
If we could get somebody, that knew
Yes.
I think maybe
historian.
he had an uncle or something that was a sheriff down in the Meshack area, or something to that effect, and they said that maybe he was maybe born or in the Turkey Neck Bend area. So there's some documentation out there that they think
Yeah.
but history's not going to change.
No.
They're not
No,
gonna change
no,
history now.
it's not. But I have even heard that that they had found receipts that where his mother had paid someone to tutor the children, and it was in that area. So yeah, I think that's a very interesting subject.
Yes, it is.
All right, ladies, appreciate y'all coming in, and we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back with our next guest on Monroe Monday. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.